really pleased with the group to find a way to win the game. I thought it was a good college football game, back and forth. These things are long games. There's a lot that's going to take place throughout the game, and especially now with the 2-minute timeout, there's a lot of football left after the 2-minute timeout. Really pleased with the way we finished both halves. Obviously, getting field goals that were meaningful. I thought defensively coming in, we knew this was an explosive offense, challenged our defense to just make them earn it, put together long drives where they had to earn it throughout. And for the most part, we did that. And so, and they kept on responding, even when we got down, right? They came up huge for us with that. And so really happy on really the group's effort. That's a good offense. That's a good team. We're on the road for the first time in Big Ten play to come up the way we did. Really pleased with that. And then I appreciate Spartan Nation showing up. I mean, we had a big old showing of Spartans out there cheering us on the whole time, and that was awesome.
About Aiden bouncing back, second game. I know it was kind of up and down performance, but when it counted, I mean, making plays.
No question. We got more explosive offensively. He threw some strikes down the field. Obviously, Nick Marsh comes on the stage in a big way. We got to clean up a lot on offense, Aiden included. I think a couple of those interceptions are just his footwork. He's got to, throw it in proper balance. He was just inaccurate on a couple of them. And again, there's some learning curve there, but the kid is resilient. Aiden kept on coming back, and again, we had the ball at the end of the game. He's the quarterback, drove us down the field and set it up for Jonathan Kim.
It seems like there were a lot of there was an emphasis on getting guys going who maybe weren't going last week early on, swing pass right out of the gate to Montori, from like rhythm plays. Was there a real emphasis on trying to get what hadn't worked?
Offensively, we wanted to find some rhythm. We wanted to spread some touches around. I thought Coach Linger did a good job of kind of early on spreading that out, where not just Montori, but you saw Glover get a catch, Vellings gets a catch, and so we wanted to get that early on, some rhythm.
What are you seeing about Nick Marsh's development in 9 months to be this featured player for you, and how? I mean, you've been coaching offensive football for a long. Is that rare for a young kid like that to be?
He was on the. He had been progressing throughout camp and making a bunch of plays, and so, game one he was out there. We just didn't target him as much. But this game, he definitely was going to play more. Had some targets for him in the middle of the field, and he comes up huge. But at the same time, he's catching the ball on the sideline, operating in our 2-minute at the end of the half and at the end of the game. The guy's a true freshman. He's mature beyond his years.
In a lot of ways, Aiden and Nick are pieces of this offense, right? And so to see them be able to connect and make that kind of big impact that late in the game when backs were kind of against the wall, just how excited does that kind of make you feel about?
I think it shows the potential, not just of those two, but of this offense, that we can do some things, be explosive. We have to, though, find a way to be more efficient offensively. Too many missed assignments. I think the penalty sides flipped on us this game. On defense, they had way too many last week. This week, it felt like it was on offense. I don't know the exact number, but whether we're in the wrong formation, we're not lining up on the line of scrimmage. We got 3 and out. We got turnovers again. And so tonight, we were explosive enough to kind of make up for some of that poor play.
You've been a part of a lot of big wins over time, and I'm just wondering what this sort of thing does early in a 10-year, early for a team, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's big in regards. It's still early. This is game 2. We got a lot of football left, but at the same time, some of the messages we're preaching, I think some of the belief that comes, finding a way on the road resiliently with some durability throughout the game, that echoes some of our messages we've been preaching.
So early in the season, where are you in terms of the balance between new install and making the corrections?
Yeah, we're trying to clean up corrections. We're not trying to just create brand new offense, defense, or special teams week in and week out. So we want to be about corrections. Now, you got a game plan. You can't just be doing the same thing week in and week out. And so there's a balancing act, but we want to get good at what we do.
What about the last 2 minutes?
Such a big factor on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
I guess from the offensive standpoint, what was it that you saw from Aiden in those situations on the defensive side?
And some of those third downs converted were not just 3rd and 1 and 2s. Now, we did extend some drives, and credit to Maryland, they did the same thing. They were lights out, especially in the first half on 3rd down, to make us, those drives continue. And that's a huge play in the game. Anytime there's a 3rd down, whether you're getting off the field or you're continuing to drive.
Did you notice some progress on the run game? Not a lot of negative plays. Maybe not, Nate has a one chunk but a lot of positive, if not a lot of.
There's some there. I'm telling you, we got to get better in the run game. This thing, we've got the potential to do some more. Yeah, I think got over 100 yards maybe combined, but there's still meat left on the bone in that, and we got to keep on working.
The last drive started at the 16, way down in your own end. What was the strategy coming up? Were you trying to get the last score, and how did that play out?
The strategy, well, I think we possessed it with about 2:12, so we knew the 2-minute warning was coming up. And so we ran the ball and let the clock go down there. And then it turned into a 3rd and long again, and that was a huge conversion. Once we got the first down, we were going to go, and that's how it played out.
To be down by a touchdown 3 different times, rally on the road every time, and then take it down for the last drive. What did that do for a team second?
Yeah, hopefully, add some confidence and resilience that this thing ain't over until, it's showing zeros. And we've got the capability to be able to finish games, and you have to. In this day and age, in this league, in college football in general, you got to be able to finish. We did today.
How important was that? I think it was after Aiden's first pick that they scored off of for him to come back that next drive and put together a positive drive to kind of,
Yeah, I think it's always in the response and important when you have a mistake or whatnot to be able to get back out there and go. And again, he had a few of them today. Offensively in general, we did today. But that's what this group is. We got to continue to improve. Again, we're all about learning, improving onto the next week. So it's going to be a great Sunday to digest this film.
That default connection, the quarterback has that to the receiver downfield. Some legs, particularly 2 guys who really haven't played a lot of football together. How
Yep.
does that go?
Well, anytime you're explosive and connecting on a deep ball. I think about the early Glover. This thing is we're in bad field position and down and distance wise. That guy throws a strike. Glover comes up with a huge catch there. That was a big moment for us offensively to feel like, okay, we're settling in here.
I feel like going on the road. Did you see like the demeanor and the communication, all those things that you want to see? I guess when it's new for all these guys and yourself included.
Yeah, it was solid. There's a few things that I'm even thinking about now that we could have done better. But the way they handled the road, being down, continued to fight, go throughout the 60 minutes, I was pleased with.
How appropriate was it for Jonathan to have that game-winning field goal after the kickoff?
Yeah, well, in fairness to Jonathan, we're about to kick off on that. We're kicking the ball out of bounds with 1 second left. We got 10 guys on the field. We only have 11 players out there, and so that's on the coaches. We got a ton to keep playing another.
What about the injuries coming in, particularly Phillips?
Yeah, it was big.
What kind of things you guys had to do in terms of juggling that?
Yep.
Last week during the game, was it during practice?
Yeah, it was coming out of the game. There was kind of late identification how serious it was. He's long term. You probably won't see him again this year. And so, it's this next man up. I think we did rotate again, O-line wise, at tackle and at guard with those guys, and that's where I'm back to. We can keep on gelling. We got to keep on working on that group.
What's the injury?
For
Phillips?
lower body. Yep.
Antonio Gates was in there in that last series. Has he been really? What is
He's plugging away, with Glove and Montori, and then obviously Marsh coming on the stage. Those guys have been out there a little bit more, but we got confidence in Gates. And you talk about another guy that's explosive. He can make some plays.
Early on, they went deep against some press looks. Looked like you kind of maybe backed it off a little bit, kept it in front for the rest of the game. Would you agree with that, or the rest of the half?
I'm sorry. Ask the question.
First drive, they got open deep.
They did.
Press. It looked like you guys went zone and contained it the rest of the half.
Yeah, we went back and forth because you don't want to sit in one, whether you're pressing the whole time or off the whole time. But yeah, they challenged us early, and let's face it, we were fortunate on a couple of those. The guys getting behind us, they got good players. I mean, Loxley does a great job, but we wanted to change that look of not being impressed the whole time and forcing the issue of putting 8, 10, 12 play drives together.
Last one for Coach.
With Armarian, we talked to Joe a little bit. We saw him in pads today, not last week. Joe was saying it's kind of a TBD thing. Just how are you handling that? Obviously, a delicate situation.
Yeah, it is. And he was around more this week, and we'd love him to get to the point where he can be out there a ton. At the same time, getting ready for a game, there's a lot of prep that goes into it, and when he gets enough of that, you'll see him out there.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
That'll be it for media availability today. Thank you.